This is Bioshockraptor and welcome to our weekly podcast on video game reviewing. Today I will be reviewing Final Fantasy X for the PS2. This game was released in 2001 by Square Enix, the same company that produced and released Kingdom Hearts. It is the very first Final Fantasy game to feature voiceover work and actors, and is the first Final Fantasy installment to be released on the PlayStation 2. This game has sold over 6.6 million units all over the world. Basically, this is one of the most interesting games I have ever seen and played when it comes to story. It is action-packed with romance and a bit of comedy. It's actually pretty sad at the end, and it really sucks you in to find out what happens. But basically it's this. Tidus, a professional blitzball player, which is a popular sport in the world of speed up, gets transported through time and has to defeat a giant monster known as Sin. Along his journey he meets many other friends with their own problems and situations. It is very nice and fits in perfectly with the theme, so I think that the story deserves a merit. There are multiple characters with different moves and attributes in this game. There is Tidus with normal strengths, Yuna with summoning and healing powers, and etc. They are all interesting characters and are fun to play, but some of them just look stupid. They are basically the typical Final Fantasy characters with wacky hairstyles and clothes and special magic and weapons. They are very different to normal everyday video game characters, so it's nice for a change, but another change to make them sensible would be nice also. But where's the fun in that? The gameplay is basically like Pokemon for the GBA, as in a turn-based situation. It's alright and pretty fun at first. It doesn't require any skill, just patience. Although people may think that this type of action is boring, it's actually quite fun, and it's a nice change from the normal button mashing. It's not that good, but it's not really that bad. But you end up getting annoyed with it, and it does slow down the pace of everything. Not that there is a pace to keep up with anyway. So, the controls. There aren't many in this game, besides movement and selecting an option in combat, but there is a mini-game where you play blitzball, and the controls are alright, but too frustrating to get away from an opponent, and they just try to pack too much into this little mini-game with breakthroughs and such. It isn't very fun. So something that's good and somewhat bad are the graphics in Final Fantasy X, especially since it's the very first Final Fantasy game on the PlayStation 2. The gameplay graphics are actually very nice and neat, and the cinematics look wicked. They're really good for its time, but the normal cutscenes actually look really ugly, so, you know, at least you can still live through it. The music in this game is like, well, it's okay. It's not really a wow factor, but it's alright. It's kind of that mystic fantasy tone, and it does help with the surroundings and environment, making it feel more like the actual place, but nothing real special. Most fun games actually don't have multiplayer, and that's the same with this game. It is somewhat a shame, because Square Enix could have probably put multiplayer in the blitzball minigame to make it half decent. Final Fantasy X is a moderately long game, and you probably wouldn't finish it within a weekend if you're new to this installment. After you've finished it and know where to go, it will still definitely take you longer than a 10-hour time period to complete. It's pretty long and won't disappoint you. Hiring for an overnight or even for 3 days just won't do you. So after completing this game, you probably won't feel like playing it again for a long time. There isn't much replay value to actually go through it again unless you're a die-hard fan for it. There is, however, 3 endings to the story, and you might actually want to go through and unlock them. But that way you would have to collect every single item and do every single action etc. No one would really do it unless they really wanted to. Most people would just watch it on YouTube. This game has some nice graphics and a fun combat system, sort of. It sucks you in and will make you want to play it right to the very end. It has a great story and is very fun for old and young gamers. While the graphics are good, I just can't get over the mini cutscenes. They're just so bad, but then again, you can still live through them. There are a few minor things wrong with this game, but they are forgivable, seeing as though the hardware on a PS2 isn't that great. But this is a one-of-a-kind game, and arguably one of the best RPGs you'll find on a home entertainment console. Story 5 out of 5, characters 4, gameplay 3, controls 3, graphics 4, music 3, multiplayer 0, length 5, replay value 1. Overall rating 7. Good.